Welcome to yet another FPL video. I appreciate everyone who has tuned in now. What I want to do in this video is discuss the best wildcard team that you can do. Now, some of you will have both the wildcard and the free hit available, but others of you will just have the wildcard and no free hit. And some of you have asked me in the live chat earlier today, what should I do if I, have a wildcard but I don't have a free hit? How do I navigate game week 18 and 19? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you two teams. So the first one will be a wildcard team for those of you who have both chips available. So you can use the free hit in game week 18 to navigate that and focus exclusively on game week 19 and build pretty much an entire squad full of double game week players, and I'll be talking about it. Now, of course, it's not going to be perfect. Some of you will have different opinions. Some of you won't like some of the picks I've gone with. And of course, I invite all of you to comment down below who you would put instead. And it's all down to opinion, but end of the day, you can use it as a template. And the second team I'll show you is pretty much the same thing, but with the free hit in mind, and I'll be explaining everything when I get closer to showing my second team. But before I do that, what I want to show you is this website, which I touched upon in my live stream earlier today. So livefpl.net, they always have this thing where you can check your rank even before the game actually updates it on the app or the website. And they've released a new feature. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, by the way. It's just very good for you lot to use. There's a section called My Team. So if you type in livefpl.net/myteam, and all you have to do is register. So you put your email and your password or create one, and there you go. And what you can do is from each week, you can plan ahead. So let's say, for example, we are right now in game week 15. I can choose all the way in game week 38 how my team would look and plan even that far ahead. And it takes a bit, literally just a few seconds. And look, you're seeing the final, teams for game week 38. And as you can see, I've already done a bit of planning on this. I haven't done it completely. But, with the kind of method I have in mind, which is potentially free hitting in game week 18 and bench boosting in 19, I've kind of devised a plan, as you can see here. And look, so if we go to game week 18, you can even activate, these chips and you can change the bench order like this and literally just move the arrow and stuff like that. And you literally change the bench order. You can even change the captaincy. And as you can see here on the right hand side, so I've got like Salah captain for game week 15, Fernandez, vice captain just like I have in the actual game. And at the moment I've got Kane captain for the next 2 game weeks. And De Bruyne for 18. When I'm free hitting, he'll be my captain, or at least in the plan. I mean, I can change it, but basically what you can do, you can even take hits on this, and you can literally plan ahead. So in game week 19, as I keep on talking about, in my case, we look all the way over there, and with the bench boost, it takes it into account, and this is how it looks. That's how my team would look with a -4 involved. So yeah, it's a very useful application / website that you can use, and it's free, and the person, or should I say the people behind this, very, very good of them, and I would thoroughly recommend it. But without further ado, obviously that will be very helpful for you, but this is the team that I would recommend to you lot. Something very similar, and to be fair, it's actually similar to the team you see here, which I could go to, but of course on a wildcard I would have a few differences because I'd have that extra advantage over others. And if you build this team with the free hit also available and use it in game week 18, and you can create a team similar to what I've discussed in previous videos, and as you saw on screen just earlier, you can build something like this for game week 19. So Fabianski and McCarthy in goal, I think, are 2 of the best keepers you can get, because we look at Fabianski and he's got Burnley and West Brom at home. And not just that, just great fixtures from now all the way until game week 20. Then it kind of turns a bit, maybe after game week 24. But to be honest, yeah, we're talking about until February, West Ham have great fixtures. Now, in the long term, you wouldn't want to have double West Ham defence, even if it's a keeper and a defender, because I wouldn't back them to get too many clean sheets. But for example, for that double game week, I mean, that's 2 of the best fixtures that you could get. And, they're facing quite toothless attacks. That's not to say that they won't concede, because they can, but they have a great chance of keeping 2 clean sheets. Probably one of the highest out of any of the teams there. Then McCarthy's another one. And, for his price, very good. I always recommend him. And, he's got some decent fixtures. I know Leeds away and Leicester away aren't ideal, but 2 fixtures. McCarthy can get save points as well, even if they don't keep the clean sheets. And some decent fixtures here and there. It's kind of mixed. But McCarthy's another one I would recommend. I think those 2 keepers are probably the 2 best you can get. But of course, like I said, If you have any suggestions, let me know. And of course, there's also the element of removing players like Martinez, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who you have a lot of money tied into. And if you get rid of them, it will be very hard to get them back in by getting this team, for example, even on a wild card and then getting them back out. But as you can see with my defence here, 2 Liverpool defenders, but I think up until game week 20, it's a viable option. And Robertson is a keeper. If you have enough money to have Robertson and have a good midfield and attack, and also good depth, good defence overall, good keepers, you're happy with your team, then Robertson's obviously a great asset to have. But as I always say with him, because he's 7.3 million now, maybe you could spend the money better. But speaking exclusively towards game week 19 and stuff, and being able to afford a team like this, I think Robertson's a great addition. His attacking threat, of course, the clean sheets that Liverpool can get, they've turned the corner, I think. Although they have been a bit fortunate at times to not concede as many as they have. So against Spurs, they conceded 1. They could have easily conceded 2 or 3. Against Palace, they could have conceded. But end of the day, it's about points. So even if they were lucky to get clean sheets or to not get them, doesn't matter. And Walker-Peters, I know it's double Southampton defence, that could be a bit off-putting, but I do think that Southampton, Walker-Peters is on bonus points today, for example. He got another clean sheet, 2 bonus points, and I think they're the 2 best options now with Vestergaard out for a month, and that's very bad news for you Vestergaard owners. I mean, Hassan Hutul the other day did say that he could be back for game week 15, but now he's not back until maybe game week 19, 20, or maybe even longer. So yeah, I think Walker-Peters is still a good option. Of course, for games like Liverpool, they're going to be very, very tough. But that's why you got Fabianski, and you've got the other defenders in there. So I wouldn't be too concerned about that. But yeah, that's what I would think. And Zuma, I know that Chelsea actually lost to Arsenal, and Arsenal actually won a game, thank God. But yeah, Zuma, still in my opinion, a great choice. He's the top scorer of defenders in terms of points, and even in terms of goals. How many goals this guy has scored. Of course, it's not sustainable per se, because although he's such a threat all the time, you wouldn't expect that to continue. You won't expect him to score 10 in the whole season, but you never know. But Zuma, I still think, is a good choice. Chelsea are very good defensively, and apart from Arsenal, they have been very good overall defensively. Their stats are so good. Their expected goals conceded, although now it's probably gone up by quite a bit. I still think Zuma's a great option, but you know what? I will be showing with my second team some more Game Week 18 players and stuff like that, and then you'll kind of see some differences. But I think Zuma, double Game Week player, you have that Chelsea cover. And to be fair, you could go for Chilwell if you have the money, or Reece James. And a very important part of this is the budget. So, for example, I have just under 105 million, according to the website, in terms of my squad value. But here, with this squad that I've assembled, I've got 0.3 million remaining. So, of course, if you can't build this team, then you can make some sacrifices here. So, for example, instead of Robertson, you could go to Trent, or you could just keep Matip and go to someone else, maybe to Diaz, if you don't mind having maybe 1 or 2 solo game week players. But this is what I would have. And yeah, I think that's a very good defense. Soufal, of course, very creative. Apart from Robertson, he's the most creative defender in the last 6 game weeks, so very good to look at him. And you've got that double West Ham defence, like I said, very, very good. Double Liverpool defence, even double Southampton. Of course, it's very risky. And if you are not that confident in one of those teams, or maybe all of them, then you can diversify things a bit. But I think those are some of the best options you can get in defence and in goal. Looking to the midfield now, very interesting. Rashford scored yet again against Leicester, but also produced a shocking miss. Schmeichel made a good save, but ultimately Rashford should have scored. And for me, Bruno is the standout United guy, definitely. He keeps on proving it. He is FPL royalty at the moment. He's up there with the likes of Salah. I'm not going to say he's on the same level, but he's getting to those levels nearly. And apart from him, Martial and Rashford you could go to. If you don't like some of these strikers that I show, like Vardy or Bamford or Adams, you could get Martial instead. Firmino, there's some good options there with double game week, so consider all of them. But at the moment, I've got Fernandes and Rashford in there, and Rafinha is a very different pick, but for his price, I think as a 5th midfielder, he could do very well. And he's not very consistent, not very proven, but I just think that for the double game week with the fixtures they have, which are very good by the way for Leeds, I think he could do very well, and also in the game weeks beforehand and after. But of course, if he doesn't produce over this next 6-7 game weeks, then obviously look to get rid of him, even if he's only 5.4 million. But I think he could be a very good outside pick. And I'm not really a big fan of having, free premium midfielders and stuff like that. Maybe a premium forward, premium defender, and, having 2 kind of 5 million-ish midfielders. But for the bench boost, I still think they can do very well for you. Souček's another one. I think as a fifth midfielder, he's a very good choice. And the only problem is knowing when he's going to haul. So beyond game week 19, you look to, when is Souček going to score? He's going to probably do it when you least expect it, like when he scored against United the other week. And maybe against the teams you expect him to do well against, he just gets the 1 point, 2 points, maybe 3 points for the clean sheet. So that's something to bear in mind. But Souček is someone I'm looking at for my team as my fifth midfielder to kind of fill up my bench. And I think he can do very well. But of course, he's not ideal. He does have a lot of attacking threat. He's got 20 shots in the box. He's up there for all midfielders under 9 million. He is right at the top in terms of attempts on goal. But ultimately, of course, looking forward, then he's someone you could maybe downgrade to a 4.5 million midfielder and make up more funds if you want to upgrade the likes of Rafinha. But for game week 19, I do think all of these options are very good. Salah and Bruno, I don't really need to talk about too much because they're two of the best assets in the game. In my opinion, over the last 5-6 game weeks, they are definitely the best. And, it's proven by the amount of points they've gotten, the amount of goals, assists, bonus points, everything. And, Salah and Bruno, both great captaincy options for game week 19 and also in the game weeks beforehand. But Salah is a must-have in my opinion. Of course, some people will be tempted to maybe go Salah and Mane, which is fair enough. Me personally, I would prefer a double Liverpool defence and Salah. But there's also Firmino. You can't just discard these options, although I wouldn't go for them. Maybe you could, and you would, and you get the points that you want. Bruno Fernandes, like I said, he's bordering on essential. Even Salah, I was asked earlier, is Salah essential? And, I was kind of differing a bit because I don't like putting these tags. But at the moment, you have to say yes. The likes of Salah and Bruno are essential. If you don't have them, they can affect your rank massively. But don't just get them in out of fear. But, these kind of players, they can help you propel up the ranks. And especially when you captain them when they haul, like Bruno today. And then Vardy, I know I've been very hesitant about him all season, but he just keeps on getting the points. And he got an assist today for the own goal by Tuanzebe, I believe. And at home is what I am kind of worried about. And I'm also considering bringing him in. But if we actually look at how many goals he scored this season, I think only 3 of them have come at the King Power, which is very poor. Most of them come, away from home. And where are both games going to happen in? Well, both at home. But then again, Vardy's the type to, he's not really a records guy or statistics guy. He's a stats buster. And maybe he doesn't score in all of the home games leading up. Well, actually, they don't even have a home game, so to be fair, actually. So he might not even score in the next 2 games, let's say, and he blanks in game week 18. But he can score in both games, against Southampton and Chelsea. So he's a very, very weird player to have, but ultimately he's up there in terms of points scored out of any player this season. A lot of penalties, but it doesn't matter. He gets the points. He is someone I would recommend, but like I said, if you don't like him, you could go to Martial, you could go to Firmino. There are plenty of options with double game weeks. And Bamford, in my opinion, at his price with a double game week, wouldn't say essential, but he's very, very good player to have. And he's someone that, you're going to be nervous about if you go into game week 19 without owning him. And if they keep on creating so many chances for him, he could get a mega haul in game week 19 and some great fixtures beforehand. So, Patrick Bamford is someone I'm looking at. Well, not sure I say looking at, I've got him already, but he would be someone I would look at. And I got him in, just 2 or 3 game weeks ago for Wilson. And Wilson's been benched, by the way, against Manchester City, which is very interesting. And Che Adams, and he actually got an assist for Walcott's winner against Fulham, chalked off for offside, I believe. So he is a very good choice around his price. There is Watkins as well, who did very well today. And there is Bamford, who in my opinion is the best, around 6 million-ish. Then there's Wilson as well. But for the fixtures, for the double game week, I would probably put Adams above the likes of Wilson and Watkins. But after the double game week, he is someone, of course, I would like to upgrade to a Wilson, for example. But I think he could do very well over the next 5 game weeks or so. So I think he's a very good choice. And as you can see, triple Southampton, pretty much triple West Ham. There's quite a lot of options here. Triple Liverpool, double United. Of course, like I said, if you're not really too keen or secure, confident in some of these teams and players, then of course you can change it up. But this is a template, this is a structure that you can build off. And maybe you want to invest a bit less in the defence, more into the midfield, which is perfectly understandable. That's something I would normally do. But if I had a wild card, this is something very similar to what I would probably do. Of course, sometimes you change your mind towards the end, especially before actually, playing it. But this is something very close. So for all of you who have the wildcard and the free hit available, you can navigate Game Week 18 and not really think about it. I would wildcard to this. But now, for those of you who don't have the free hit, you can't really use it, obviously, for Game Week 18. And you want to strike a balance between Game Week 18 and 19. Have some players who play on Game Week 18 and some who play twice on 19. So as you can see here, only one keeper. And for those of you who might want a bench boost, it is different, and you could maybe start downgrading in other positions, as you can see here, and maybe upgrade the keeper and activate the bench boost. Same with Basuma. To be fair, it could just be any 4.5 million, 4 million keeper anyway. But as for the defense, as you can see here, the main difference, because most of it is very similar, is Diaz in for Zuma. And Manchester City have kept so many clean sheets this year. Diaz has been very good, and he's always playing. In every important game, every Premier League game he's been playing. I'm not going to guarantee you he's going to play every single game, because you know what Pep is like. When you least expect it, Pep roulette strikes. But Diaz, I think, is a great choice, and he's someone that obviously I got in. He scored an own goal, I got him out, and then he got 9 points. But I am looking to get him in very soon. So if I do the free hit in 18 and the bench boost in 19, I'm actually looking to get him in from Game Week 20 onwards and just keep him for as long as possible. He is someone I'm looking at. I believe in Manchester City's defence, and I think he can be very good. He plays in Game Week 18, of course. He still has a great fixture for Game Week 19. So I think Ruben Diaz, for those of you who do not have the free hit, is a great choice. And even those of you who have both chips available, so the wildcard and the free hit, he's someone I would still recommend thoroughly. So if you don't want to just, fill your whole squad with double game week players, go for Diaz. I think he's one of the best choices in defence. Maybe not too much in terms of attacking potential, but he could maybe score 1 or 2 headers this season. He is a threat normally. We'll have to wait and see if he can do that in the Manchester City shirt, but I do believe he will. And Taylor, I think for 4.5 million, he's someone I'm looking at, even if I don't bench boost. Great choice. He used to be 4.4 million, just a week ago or so. And although the fixtures for Game Week 19 aren't ideal, because it's West Ham away and Liverpool away, still very good fixtures before that. And Burnley are decent defensively. They're kind of, gotten their stride a bit. The only problem, I would say, is that from 19 onwards, the fixtures are very poor. But he's still a great option to have from the bench. And Burnley, sometimes they can do well. They can surprise you against Arsenal. I know Arsenal have been poor this season, but, they got a clean sheet there. No one expected that. They got the win. And Taylor got an assist the other day, although he's not really that good offensively. Maybe he can get another assist or 2 this season, but I think he's a great 5th option. And then you look at the midfield, very similar. Salah and Fernandes, in my opinion, they're kind of just 2 mainstays in this team. But then you see the likes of Grealish and Son. Now, I have to say, Grealish is frustrating. They did score 3 goals today. He was heavily involved, but didn't get any points. But I still think for his price and below, a great option. And he's got a fixture in Game Week 18, although I have to say it is against Tottenham. But hopefully Grealish can do very well there. And he's someone that you can obviously get in. And even in Game Week 19, decent fixture. And great fixtures going forward after. So, this is a very long-term move also. Not just looking at Game Week 18, but also beyond that. But of course, the next 3 game weeks look very grim on paper. But you never know what could happen. And then you look at Heung-min Son, fantastic fixtures. Even in Game Week 19, you could keep him. But one strategy you could do, same with Harry Kane, is to have this team, and let's count this, let's do it live. So you've got Martinez, who plays in Game Week 18. You've got Diaz, also plays in Game Week 18. Grealish, Basuma, if you can count him. Son, Kane, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Okay, so you've got all of those playing in Game Week 18, and the rest pretty much play twice in Game Week 19. So you have a good balance. It's pretty much 50-50. But what you could do is after Game Week 18, you could make 2 free transfers or whatever, maybe take a hit or so. You can get out Kane for Vardy or for Che Adams for Firmino, Martial, etc. You could take out Son for Rashford, as you can see in the other team, and you can navigate Game Week 18 that way. So you have the players who obviously are going to play in Game Week 18, and then after that, if you want to get rid of them, then go ahead and do so. But I have to say, Game Week 19, getting rid of Spurs players, even just one of them, is very, very uncomfortable. Something I would be uncomfortable with doing, because it's Sheffield away. That's one of the best fixtures you can get this season. But just something to consider. Leave your options open. What I'm giving you here is a platform, a template. You can obviously improve on it. You can take the idea and make it better. But, these are just some ideas you can play around with. Maybe you can just keep the Spurs duo, get rid of other players. But ultimately, if you don't have the free hit, I think this is a very good team you can wildcard to. It's quite similar to my team. But I think, it would be something that's worth considering. And like I said, if not, there is this team where, You have pretty much every single one of them is double game week players. But if this was my team, personally, so this is the team obviously available for both. So the wildcard and the free is available. I would probably still get in Diaz over one of these players, and probably for Robertson or Matip, and I'd try to upgrade Rafinha. But if you want a team full of double game week players, differentials, some great picks, and targeting the teams with good fixtures and who are very good offensively, then I think this is a great team you can go to with both of your chips available. But let me know what you thought of my two teams down in the comment section below. Which one do you think is better? Because maybe some of you would prefer the other one. But some interesting picks in there, and it's good to sometimes have those exciting picks. Obviously, reliability and consistency is the main thing you seek in FPL, but sometimes those exciting picks can just make the huge difference for you. And with Game Week 19 up around the corner pretty much in just a few weeks' time, and Game Week 18, the blank game week, a wildcard, in my opinion, is a great advantage because you can navigate these game weeks, and then you have a second wildcard to navigate game weeks 26 and blank game week 29, so you've got a great advantage there. And I think this wildcard is very important, so remember to use it before the game week 16 deadline off, because if you don't, it pretty much is absorbed into thin air and it's done. Pretty much it's gone, just like Tottenham's title hopes. But that's another story. And hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button and subscribe if you're new. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers and we've made a lot of progress. I really appreciate everyone who's been watching. And like I said in the stream, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And hopefully you keep on enjoying the football. Hopefully Arsenal keep on winning matches. It's a great sight to see, and I will be uploading my normal preview very soon. Like I said, a very quick turnaround. I'll also be looking to stream on the Monday. But yeah, every few days we've got to be ready, got to be on top of all these things. So remember to make your transfers. If you have your wild card, your first wild card, remember to play it before the Game Week 16 deadline. Otherwise, you're probably going to be kicking yourself because it could give you that extra boost that you need to go up the ranks. But thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.